Hello and welcome to the annual travel training for Club Sport executive officers. This training is designed to help you navigate the travel request process, travel policies, hotel bookings, and reimbursements for George Mason University Club Sports. All travel to events or competitions requires an executive officer to submit the travel itinerary form via IAMLeaks. This document provides details for your upcoming trip. To access the form, simply log in to IAMLeaks. Ensure that you are on the home screen by clicking Home. You will want to then click on My Forms and then scroll down, select the travel itinerary form. Remember, travel itinerary requests must be received by 8 a.m. on Thursday for all weekend activities. This form is required for all team travel to away competitions or events. Should changes occur to your itinerary after it has been approved, club officers must email the club sports office at masoncs@gmu.edu with all changes prior to departure. When completing this form, please ensure that you complete all required elements as highlighted in red. This includes drivers of personal vehicles and all members traveling in each vehicle. If you are staying in a hotel, you will need to include the destination of your hotel, confirmation number, and the individuals staying in each room. Remember, reimbursements are possible per our Purchasing 101 training, but please remember that all reimbursements must be listed on your travel itinerary. So if you plan to reimburse individuals for gas, just list that you're going to reimburse for gas, or if you are planning a team meal, you may include that as well. Individual meals may not be reimbursed. Your travel policy reminders are here below, so please check through those. And then your eligible travel roster is listed below. Individuals with their name crossed out are not eligible to travel. So please ensure everybody has completed their forms on time so we can make sure everybody is eligible for travel. Simply submit the form and a club sports officer or a club sports program assistant or administrator will review your request, approve or deny it, and get back to you. So, who is permitted to travel with your club? Only eligible club sports athletes and coaches are permitted to travel with the club. All passengers must be listed on the travel request itinerary form via IAMLeaks. The university has several policies to assist in ensuring the safety of our teams during travel. Clubs must avoid travel between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. Any trip that is longer than 300 miles or 4 hours must have at least 2 qualified drivers. Overnight stays are highly recommended for all trips involving 6+ hours of total driving time. No driver shall drive more than 2 hours without a break of at least 15 minutes. This is intended to help us with travel to ensure we do not have drowsy or tired drivers. Passengers should conduct themselves in such a manner as to avoid any unnecessary distractions to the driver. Drivers must obey all posted traffic laws and signage. The driver and all passengers must wear a seatbelt while the vehicle is in motion. Although obtaining meals, gas, and lodging are reasonable deviations, the trip must be along the most direct route between designated sites and not involve ad hoc side trips. There are many different modes of transportation available, but the use of personal vehicles is the primary method of transportation for our club sport athletes. When utilizing personal vehicles, please remember that private personal vehicles are not covered under the university's liability insurance. All drivers must possess a valid driver's license, maintain sufficient liability insurance. Drivers may not be under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. And please remember that they are eligible for reimbursement. This is something the club must consider if you have it in the budget. But please remember that they are eligible for reimbursement. Clubs do have the option to request rental vehicles through the George Mason University contract with Enterprise Rental. Rental vehicles are most commonly used for regional and national championship events that require airfare or longer distances. Clubs wishing to request use of a rental vehicle must contact their club administrator a minimum of 8 weeks prior to your planned trip, as all drivers must be approved by the University Motor Vehicle or MVR check and complete a mandatory driver training class. Charter bus rentals are another common form typically used for longer, multi-day trips and are not a financially viable option for most clubs. Mason currently has 2 contracts with charter bus companies, Academy and LW Transportation. Contact information for the companies can be found in the Purchasing 101 training. Airfare is our least used method of transportation and requires quite a bit of coordination. If possible, all members should attempt to be on the same flight and avoid having anyone travel alone. Please contact your club administrator in advance if you plan to utilize airfare travel. It is extremely important to be safe and drive smart when traveling to club sport activities. The safety of your fellow teammates and coaches must be your #1 priority. Remember, keep your eyes on the road and not get distracted. According to the NTSB, distracted drivers killed 3,142 people in 2019. Distracted driving is any activity that diverts attention from driving. Drowsy or tired drivers is another common cause of accidents. Please ensure you are properly rested before getting behind the wheel. 1.2 million accidents are caused each year as a result of a drowsy or tired driver, and adults aged 18 to 29 are at the most risk. A few helpful tips to avoid being tired while driving. Plan frequent stops to stretch and move around. Make use of hotels on longer trips. Always have a second driver available. Get plenty of sleep. And remember, do not fight off the warning signs. Many of our clubs compete throughout the late fall and winter months. Inclement weather is a serious hazard when traveling. It is extremely important to plan ahead and monitor the weather forecast. Remember, decrease your speed and avoid aggressive braking during inclement weather. So, what should you do if involved in an accident? Remember, #1 priority is to assist anyone that has been injured and call for EMS immediately. While the vehicle is still at the scene, notify the police by calling 911. Do not admit guilt. Remember to collect information from all witnesses, police, other drivers, and anyone injured. Contact the owner of the vehicle's insurance provider to report the accident. And notify your club sport administrator immediately, as we are here to assist as needed and make other arrangements for travel. Are you planning a trip that will require an overnight stay? Some important information when planning a trip that may require the use of a hotel. Overnight stays are highly recommended for all trips involving 6+ hours of total driving time. Males and females may not share a hotel room. Coaches may not share a hotel room with students. Students should not pay for a reservation on their personal credit card, as the university cannot reimburse for this type of transaction. Club members must refrain from loud or inappropriate behavior that reflects poorly upon the university. And please plan a minimum of 2 weeks in advance if your club will need a hotel. Do not wait till the last minute, as availability may be limited. Mason Club Sports recommends the use of Hotels.com or Lucid Travel to make your hotel reservations. Hotels.com typically has a larger pool of available hotels, but either one is acceptable. Please watch our short video on how to submit a hotel reservation request to the Club Sports office. Remember, do not reserve rooms on your personal credit card, as any fees charged to your card are not reimbursable. When searching room rates, please remember that Mason may not pay for rooms in advance. These sites do not charge for making the reservation. Please make sure you have reviewed the cancellation policies prior to forwarding the reservation request to the Club Sports office. A few helpful tips. Plan ahead and make your reservations early, as rooms will fill quickly, and each room will need to have a name assigned, so at least have one name assigned to each room. Once a reservation has been confirmed, it is the responsibility of the Club Sport officers to make and or request any cancellation needed prior to the deadline. 24 hours prior to departure, club officers should pick up their reservation envelope from the Club Sports mailbox located in the rack. This envelope will include your reservation information, credit card authorization form, and a copy of the credit card. You will not be able to check in without this information. A few helpful check-in reminders. Please make sure you have your envelope and reservation number and credit card authorization form to provide to your hotel representative. Remember, Mason Club Sports will only cover room fees, taxes, and parking. We may not cover incidentals. Hotels may ask for each room assignment to have its own credit card on file, so club members may be asked to provide a credit card for each room. Upon checkout, remember, return all keys, review all bills and receipts to ensure they are correct. Personal items or room service may not be charged to the university P card, so should be taken off of the bill. Obtain a hard copy of each room receipt, as these will need to be provided to your Club Sports administrator no later than 2 business days following your return. Reimburse. As we stated earlier, club members are eligible for reimbursement during travel, but all items must be listed on your travel or itinerary form, so please plan accordingly and be detailed during your request. Items paid for in cash will not be eligible for reimbursement. Remember, no receipt equals no reimbursement. So, for any reimbursements, please see the purchasing presentation for more information on how to process a reimbursement request. A link below for the reimbursement training video is here for your reference. The final step in completing your travel is to complete the weekly report, which is accessible via Mason 360. Weekly reports are due on Mondays by midnight and should include information from the previous week, Monday through Sunday. The information collected in these reports will be used to help promote the club sport program and update the university administrators of your accomplishments. Club Sports will publish a quarterly newsletter that may be shared with family, friends, and alumni. Remember to capture your story each week and please share it with us. This information is an important piece of our new Patriot Point system, so do not miss the deadlines. A link to this form in Mason 360 is listed below. Please remember, the club sports staff is here to assist you as needed, but it is your job as a leader of your organization to coordinate safe travel for your club. Should any emergencies arise during your travels, please contact your club administrator immediately. Examples: issues with hotel check-in, injuries that require EMS or hospitalization, or accidents. Be safe, have fun, and go Patriots!